I did have one interesting email come to me, and this is why we tell people to send us an email when they have something that they want to talk about. And that email is contact@denovoagency.com. We had somebody who sent me a DM on Instagram, and he said, "Yo, I love your podcasts. If I didn't learn some of the basic stuff from you guys, I think a label was about to take me for a ride." I said, "Damn, like what happened?" And he said, "So this label was interested in my December release. So he must have a new song coming out next month." He said, "They said that they wanted it. The owner sends a follow-up email asking for his master's, proof of ownership, his social security number, driver's license." And then he said, and a bunch of other stuff. He says, "So there was no basic terms in the email, just asking for a whole bunch of personal information." And then the label said, "Just an offer of a fair royalty split." And then this guy asks what that is. And the email that they send back to him was, "So sorry to hear that. We are looking for artists with attitude, with passion for the music and talents. The numbers are important, but really," they fuck it all up. They say, "The numbers are important, but for a really artist with the qualities mentioned before, there are not the only priorities." Wow. So that is not let me read that one more time. Just the mouth vomit that was. All right. Quote, "The numbers are important, but for a really artist with the qualities mentioned before, there are not the only priorities. So we prefer to keep far from this deal. Good luck. Have a great day." So this label said, "We love your song. Can we have all your personal information in the masters?" And then he said, "Well, what do I get?" And they said, "Well, what do you mean?" And they were all like, "Oh, it's not about what you get. It's about the music." And then they said, "Okay, screw off." He says, "I think that they were trying to steal the master and release it on their own, like get the royalties or whatever." He said, "Yeah, you get the terms before you get the deal. Of course." And then, hang on, I'm just reading what he says. It says, "To make it more interesting." Oh, so he's got a whole nother. Okay. Now I got it. So this guy, same guy. "To make it more interesting," he says, "I signed with a distribution company for 12 months due to their relationship with Spotify. Also not thinking labels would be terribly interested in me yet. 4 more labels have asked and offered to release my next 2 tracks. The distribution company won't release distribution exclusivity, even though they'll get the same royalties. Happy to help those learn from that simple mistake, even though I specifically have some carved out language around label releases. It's just not even worth litigating." And that's exactly what they want. So let's James, can you recap what you heard in lawyer speak? Like,
Yeah.
what do you think was the goal there for the label?
Yeah, I think that label, if it was a real label, actually just wanted to take the music, show ownership by showing that they have all the personal information and claim that he signed to them. But if it wasn't a real label, it could have just been a scam trying to get his personal information, period. And the music really didn't matter.
Never thought of that.
So the label, yeah, it doesn't sound like they're legit if they're any decent at all. Most people are scam artists if you think about most of these labels, alleged labels, or distribution companies, and that's what they did to him. I don't think he's with United Masters. I don't know if anyone's signing to United Masters for 12 months per se, but someone like what's the company in LA? There's a company in a distribution company that's very popular. The hell is the name of it? Do you remember? A company that usually they will take a song or two and they'll buy distribution rights from you. They'll pay you up front, but they'll take the songs and they'll distribute it, and then they'll take a split. That's a good distribution deal. Usually a distribution deal, just because they have a relationship with Spotify, which no one does, is a joke as well.
Well, the thing is, yeah, exactly. What does that mean? Songflower has a relationship with Spotify, meaning we put the songs there. What does that even mean, right? Exactly.
It doesn't exist. It doesn't happen. No one has a deal with, like, labels have deals with Spotify. A distribution company doesn't. And if they're taking a percent from you, that's purely because they want a percentage. Now, what you'll learn now recently actually is, think about it. If distribution companies had deals with Spotify, Spotify would be paying them a lower split. So it would take these places or companies longer to recoup money. And that's what Spotify is starting to offer to everyone. Why would Spotify offer this to everyone if they were making money off big time labels doing this already? And they're offering that lower cut, their lower royalty rate for higher SEO. I've seen that recently a lot too. A lot of people think distribution companies have different SEO with Spotify. Like, it helps. It doesn't. You're literally, nothing changes. Who you distribute through will not affect your search results on Spotify. The only thing that will affect your search results on Spotify is opting into their new program that they announced recently and accepting a lower rate. They don't even say it's going to positively affect you or do any better. All they're saying is, you might have better odds to get on Discover Weekly or Release Radar or Daily Mix. But distribution companies didn't have that ability before. It's not like when we negotiated with Spotify for Songflower that they're like, hey, we have an offer.
Yeah, right. Here's your rate.
We'll give you a lower rate, and we'll give
right.
We'll give them a better spot. No, they didn't. They never offered that to us. It's not a thing. They don't care. Spotify does have platinum or gold like distributors, and all that means is they've gotten a certain amount of songs distributed. It's not because they treat them better or anything. It is literally Spotify going, oh, yeah, sure, you want platinum? You've distributed so many songs through us. Cool. Here you go.
Right.
And they use that to their advantage. It does not help the artist in any way to go with a bigger name distributor or someone who claims they have a relationship with Spotify. The Orchard, for example, through Sony. People think I use the Sony's distribution company. Why?
Yeah.
All they're doing is taking 10% of your streams. Why? There is no benefit to that. There's no just because it's Sony's does not make it better for you. It does nothing different than anyone else. So signing a distribution deal with a company, just royalty split, is not useful. Most likely it's never going to be useful. But the name escapes me. It's in California. It's pretty popular. No, AWOL is an actual distribution company. This one is a distribution label type setup. They pay artists for their masters and the right to distribute. They pay an upfront cost. They give an artist $4,000 and say, we want to distribute your song. We're going to give you $4,000 upfront. After we recoup all of that money, we'll start paying you royalties. That is a good distribution deal for an artist, depending on what the split is, because you're getting money that you wouldn't get otherwise. Just signing a deal for a royalty split because someone claims they have a relationship is garbage. It's no different than signing with me because, hey, I'm friends with the CEO of Logic's label. You should pay me more. I'm not going to help you talk to him. I'm not going to do anything for you or give you any connection, but I have his phone number. He's a nice guy. He checks in on me. You should pay me more because I know him.
Right. Well, and like in that example, right, like the distributor doesn't have any skin in the game. It's not like distributing a song costs $1,000 and, oh, well, they're out $1,000. It costs next to nothing. So if they're just saying, yeah, when this grows, we're going to, we can help it grow and we're going to, or hang on, let me put it this way. A lot of artists assume that, well, they get 10%, so they're motivated to market it for me because they're going to make their money. And I'm like they don't care if your song gets one stream, they're excited because they're not playing the game of, oh, we need 10 huge artists on here so that we can get our 10% back. They're saying, let's get 10,000 artists on here. And if all of them get 1,000 streams, because they're all kind of independent artists in the same level. But if we get 10 or 15 or 20% of it and we have to sit here and do nothing, which is what they're doing, once the service of getting your song on the streaming platforms and the digital stores, once that service is done, the work that a distributor does for you is done. Now, they allow you to track the data. They give you some tools that you can use to market yourself, but they are not doing anything to market your music. They put your music on the streaming platforms, period.